Oh, what the? Okay. Okay. We are back. All right. Let's see what we can get done today. Why is... See if this will actually want to work today. Okay. So, I'm going to just warm up here. Let's start. Interesting. What brush am I on? I'm on rough pencil. Why is it being so odd? Hold on. There we go. That's better. Because I drew on it previously. Okay. So, we got page... Actually, I can show it real quick before I get started. Got this page done, inking-wise. This page was a lot of work. Just kind of put that a little bit. A lot more work than I was expecting, but still, we got through it. Oops. Great. Okay, good. Hey, what's up, Dope and stuff? Good to see you. So today we are going to be trying. We're actually going to be doing a lot of sketching. I just realized we're actually not going to be doing inking today. I probably shouldn't be practicing inking techniques. All right, let's go and clear this page. Let's go back here and throw it on color. We're actually going to grab our tilt brush. Oops. Come on. Doing well, about to animate. That sounds good. I'm doing pretty good as well. I've been working on a lot of different things actually lately, including a little bit of modeling in Blender, which has been a lot of fun. Alright. I need to start figuring out how to get kind of expressive with this guy. This, arm is it on again? Technically, okay, that'd be that arm. I need to really be careful about keeping track of which arm. This is kind of the thing with asymmetrical characters. You really need to pay attention to like where stuff is. Okay. Oops. Do the panels first. Need it closer. And my hand is super shaky today. I wonder if I can, I have an issue where I get a lot of like parallax. And basically parallax is essentially my pointer isn't where it needs to be. It isn't where it appears to be. Like there, for example, like I clicked exactly on it, but it goes a little lower. I don't like that. I'm wondering if I can adjust that somehow. That'd be nice. I wonder if the DPI is off or something like that. Okay. Okay. That's not the only panel. How do I want to do these panels? I probably want to do it in thirds. Okay. Here we go. Oops, wrong thing. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna do this. And basically what this is gonna be is I'm gonna create a, wow, that's completely off. That's crazy how far off that is. Yeah, I gotta figure that out. I gotta figure out why it's being so funny. Okay, so first things first, make it in the middle. No, it's in the middle there. And then I have to do this right. You cross there, and I think, what is it? Oh yeah, another one that's in the middle. Up there, and then what you do is you intercept these two lines, or is it these two? Well, those are both in the same spot. Is that correct? I think that's correct. But I think it's... Actually, I should be able to go here and grab a box about yay wide. And in theory, what I should be able to do now, actually, is this. Come on. Really? Oops. Come on. Where's my marquee? That's... I'm missing something. You know what? Hold on. Here's what I'm going to do. That looks wider. I'm missing a step. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm done. That's correct. Okay, cool. I did it right. Let's go. All right. That I can turn off now. And now all I need to do is... Oops, wrong thing. Come on, man. That is so annoying. Like, how far off that is. Okay. There we go. That'll actually give me even more space to work with, which will be good. Let's go down here. Sketch. Okay. In theory, this page should be faster. I'm going to be way more like, or rather way less detailed with everything. So let's just get started here. I almost wonder. Let me push this actually. Oops. Increase the size here. Have him really like fill in things, and he'll be like kind of pushed back. Get this pose right. Hold on, that's the right angle. Let me actually have him dragging his arm. That's a little too big. But yeah, maybe I can kind of force the head forward. More than anything else. Nah. I need to know where the legs are gonna go. So this leg is that. Let's try flattening this. That's wrong. Yeah, why can I not? I can't get into a comfortable position. That's better. Ish. think I'm thinking too quickly. Oh, actually. Push her back or... Hello, Guilty Gear. Good to see you. Cam's working today, yes. Because I actually set things up correctly this time. And whatnot. So, that's nice. Yeah. Come on. What angle am I going for here? More importantly, is she on the ground? Here, that's fine. She actually isn't on the ground, but more importantly, she's flying through the air and knocked to the side. Okay, that's more like it. I really need to take this soundboard apart and clean everything. That is driving me crazy at this point. I've been putting it off because this thing is an absolute freaking nightmare to open up, but I really need to do it. Pretty solid movie, you think, overall? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm sure it's in some ways, like, kind of overstated. But still, you know, just subject-wise, it's like... Yeah, you know it's not gonna be happy, that's for sure. You know Grave with the Fireflies isn't gonna be happy. That you can rest assured. Maybe not that big. This spear is really long. Because he's about... She's like 5'5", 5'4", or something like that. She's pretty short. Pretty much everything that she's like met has been taller than her, and there's intention to that. But let's see, the rook I want to say is like, he was like 9 feet tall. The bishop was like 10, 11 feet tall, I think it was. So this guy's probably, I don't know, 7, 8 feet tall. And his spear is taller than him. So his spear is probably like good 10, 11 feet tall. I'm not crazy about this leg. This leg isn't right. This leg isn't landing in the right spot. It's got to land like over here. Like really taper down. Imagine, yeah, it gets speared away and you get that instead. Yeah. And it's kind of something that's interesting about Ghibli is, you know, they have a wide variety of films, you know. Princess Mononoke is like another one of those where it's like, oh dang, like people are like losing limbs and junk, and it's like, it's just crazy. I gotta... do I want... Does he grab this with the left hand? I guess he does. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, it's not a big deal. Compositionally, it's better anyway, so... Actually, I like the idea of this going beyond the panel. Every now and again, I like to put little, like... Oh, the like the tip of the spear going outside the panel or whatnot, and I think it just adds energy. It invokes something that's very like natural to animation, which is like, in animation you don't have to worry about like the constraints of a panel of the frame, because you can always move the camera, right? You can always pan, you can always, you know, you can always move things where you want them to go. But with comics, it's like, okay, I have the space of the panel. Everything has to happen in the panel, except it doesn't really. You can pull outside the panel. You can do all kinds of things. I am having a heck of a time getting this guy to look the way I want him to. That'll do. I'm like super like quick, not in a good way. I'm being too fast. I have to slow down. I would do this. It really does give a lot of energy. Yeah, no, for sure. Funny enough, I actually know someone who I think did some of the work on the IDW comics, Sonic comics. And I remember, like, funny enough, her work was actually really inspirational, not from Sonic necessarily, but from earlier independent work that she was doing for a comic called Girl in the Glim. And I recall seeing like techniques like that because, like, when I was, you know, starting out and everything like that, comics weren't really on my mind as like something I wanted to really do anything with. Honestly, I played around with the idea when I was a kid. You know, I think every kid who picks up a pencil at one point or another tries to make a little like sequential story. You know. But it was never really something that I was into. I wasn't really generally into comics at all, honestly. Aside from like very few exceptions, you know, pretty much no like superhero. I didn't read any superhero comics. I still haven't really. I just never been interested in that. And comics as a whole just never really. Not that it never caught my imagination or my attention. You know, I read Bone, right? Like I really loved Bone, reading through that. But it wasn't like, oh man, I gotta find more like this. It was, or I have to like, I want to explore this, right? The same way that animation did for me in drawing, you know. But when I started watching their streams, you know, working on their comic and stuff like that, it was really like, oh. I don't know. It was interesting seeing it. For one thing, you know, I was now like really starting to get into art, so I was approaching it from that perspective. But then you seeing it broken down, like the kind of like the language of comics, as it were, really helped me to like be like, oh, okay. I could do that. So I started kind of playing around with the ideas and whatnot. And then of course the necessity of like, oh yeah, you're one person with about 1 million ideas. Good luck animating all that. Like, oh, I can do a comic. 5 years later, I am still working on that comic, so you know. But it is going faster than animation would, so, you know. This is probably one of the most energetic poses I've drawn blind in ever. Like, I typically have a very, like, stationary kind of style to, like, the way I do my characters and whatnot. But this is, like, I'm putting some energy into this. But, like, I kind of have to. I kind of like. It's part of it's like getting used to it and what's coming next and all that. I would say this generally. This has been a very like low energy story overall. I'm gonna put the wall in. I suppose it wouldn't hurt. Kind of ground things, and I kind of interesting with the perspective. Although no, it's yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, she doesn't typically move very quick. I mean, part of that also is just her personality. You know, she's been blind her entire life, right? Like, very careful in her movement, very, like, specific and, like, you know, thought out with her movement. Her head's kind of big. Hold on. Yeah. And only recently has that changed, as she, you know, gained sight and been able to even utilize it. All right. Too much without vision. Yeah. Well, that was also just a sheer moment of like panic of like worlds colliding, kind of like just like overwhelming like everything, you know, for her. Actually, I'm tempted to have it out this far. I'm not sure about that. That would kind of look cool. Hold on. Maybe we make this work. Maybe. The only thing I don't like about it is it's a little bit tangential to the piano. But it really makes it pop. Yep. Arms right. I can always get rid of it later if I need to. Oops. Wrong tool. Okay. That should give me an idea. A few bits of garbage on the ground. ourselves a good idea of the shape of her body here. The nice thing is, like, when I'm doing these sketches and stuff like that, I realistically only need, like, the gesture for the most part. I don't actually need to define it too much for myself. That's kind of the benefit of sorts of this style. Actually, her part in her hair comes straight over the head. Her arm is too big. Actually, truth be told, her sleeve is too big. Hold on. Let me back this off. Her sleeve's actually quite small. Just short sleeves because she's in the desert. It's hot. You don't want long sleeves. Although she does actually, the reason she's wearing like a robe this way, like with a trailing kind of like hem to it or whatever you call it, is because it gets cold at night. As it gets cold at night, so it's gives a little bit of like, you can easily like hold it up and then it's nice and light, but to like kind of help with like when it's late and stuff like that, it's intended for that. What are we listening to? I forgot to mention. This is part 2 of Form State's Emerald Paradise. I was looking really forward to this. It just came out today. And yeah, it's pretty sick. Really nice drum and bass. Very similar to the first one. Go figure. Almost like that was the idea. But yeah, so just really good. I've been really enjoying Form State's stuff, so definitely go check them out. Um. Let's go with that. Okay. This one will be a little bit of work. Oh, this panel. Okay, let me see. Let me actually. I don't want it to be too big in the scene. I want portions to be. It is kind of an over the shoulder. Man, it's a good thing I'm not inking today. I am not in the brain set to. Yes, brain set to do inking. I'm thinking way too fast. Inking, you have to be very like specific in your inking. You have to be like actually like thinking things through, not like what I'm doing here, where I'm just kind of like carving shapes like a madman. Yeah, hold on. I don't. Okay, like that. Yeah, I've not drawn him from the back yet. Nice thing is I don't have to think about that thing yet. Not yet. Man, drawing this guy is so weird because like his limbs are so separated. I actually need to rethink this. Because it would actually be like over here. I have to like figure out space for them. Which typically you don't have to think about. There's so many like lines and stuff like that. I always forget how his legs are constructed. Yeah, that would be correct. Maybe a little like maybe the shield's a little bigger. Yeah, a little bigger. Well, not much bigger though. I think that maybe. Also. I want to check something. For the sketch, what did I do? I was a little bit more precise on this page. But I'm not going to worry about that. I'll do the tiles later. Hand's too big. Possibly the spear. The hand down. Just touch. Kind of seeing what I can get away with here. I don't like how busy this is. I'd rather her be a bit more in the negative space. Maybe I can do like and then it hides the foot, which is nice. That's better composition. That's better. Okay. I never know what to do with this part of the hair. Probably drives me crazy. That's correct. But actually be the other side. I'm tempted to not make them as dense. But maybe a little bit more. Somewhere in between. Up there. That way they have room for their arms. All right, that was Farm State. That was Emerald Paradise Part 2. We've been going for about an hour. The goal, I would like the sketch of this whole page. We'll see if I pull that off. Let's see here. What do I want to listen to? Honestly, probably more Farm State. Why not? Okay. Funny enough, I don't feel like I really did a whole lot on that panel as far as these guys go, but they're going to be like kind of lower detail anyway, so but they're gonna be more refined than like these guys. Or even this guy, maybe. Well, maybe they'll probably be on the same thing as that guy. And actually, maybe I just do one of them. Decrepit and falling apart. Maybe the headless one. That'd look kind of creepy. Standing there without a head. It's meant to be a little bit unsettling, like they're just standing there, rotting away. What's going on? Again, very important. He has the sigil as well in his chest. Although it would be this is he has it on his left side, it would be on the right side. And the symbol is upside down. That's very important. Took me a while to figure out what that symbol ultimately was. But now I know. And I'm not gonna say. Have yourself a good one. I'm not gonna be going much longer. I'm gonna be finishing up this panel, and then I'm gonna be calling it a night myself. So, catch you later. Have yourself a good one. All right. I don't like that. Actually, I do like the dimensions. Original. Mhm. Go with the sharper. I need to turn that off. Move this over. Oh, maybe I just call it a night early. Yeah. Gonna call it a little early. I'm tired. And my sketching isn't quite where it needs to be. So. The page is more or less done though, so that's nice. With all that being said, thank you guys for stopping by, those who did. Catch y'all later. Have yourself a good night. See ya.